You don't really want six-pack abs. Okay, maybe you do, but from my experience, what most people want is to just not feel crap about themselves. They don't want to feel their belly pressing against their shirt, or they don't want to feel depressed. And that is a completely different conversation to wanting abs. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't have abs, or you can't have abs, or you should lower your standards. But the sacrifice that's needed to be made to have abs all year round is usually a sacrifice most people are not willing to make. And I'm also not saying let's just accept being out of shape and being average, because let's be honest, average nowadays is unhappy, overweight, and just feeling like rubbish. You see, for the majority of people, they just want to look and feel good without compromising on their lifestyle. They want to be able to relax around their nutrition. They want to still be able to go out for beers on a weekend with their friends, and they still want to be able to have dessert like cheesecake. I mean, I love cheesecake, so maybe that's just me. For some of you, you may see your abs with a perfectly balanced, healthy lifestyle just by nailing some of the basic fundamentals, and it just happening as a byproduct without you having to become a fitness influencer or to be into fitness. So my point here and for this video is that we need to tap into something deeper that drives us. What is it we are truly after? Because when we tap into that, that is what's going to drive us in a direction that we want. Because we need to be clear on what it is that is motivating us and what we want to truly move towards. We want to move towards and vision ourselves moving to a place where there's not too much sacrifice and hard work. Because we never move towards pain, we only move towards pleasure. So we need to be able to envision something and therefore be able to achieve it, but that will only happen by doing something or seeing something that is attainable. And six-pack abs for most people is what they think they want but don't actually want, or is unattainable and therefore, or is attainable but the level of sacrifice needed is too much and therefore it is moving towards pain. So that's why we need to be clear on what it is that we want. And for you, that might be, okay, well, I don't necessarily need or want to see my abs. If it happens, great, as a byproduct. But I want to be at 12% body fat, or I want to be a dress size 10. Now, those things are pretty attainable for most people, or whatever it is to you, it's relative to you and your situation. But you want to find something that is sustainable, where the level of sacrifice to get there is not too great and it is also attainable but exciting enough that you're going above and beyond just being average. So we need a future that is exciting and compelling, and one that doesn't have huge levels of sacrifice that you know you can sustain. And part of that will be nailing these fundamentals. Number one, we need to get you to a place where you're training consistently just a few times a week. Now, again, that is dependent on you and your schedule and your circumstances. For some people, they may only be able to train twice a week. Great, you can still get in great shape training twice a week if you know how to. And that will be hitting the big compound movements like deadlift, squat, bench press with some accessory work and some cardio. And for others, they may be able to go to the gym 3 times a week. But you don't need to go much more than that. You don't need to go to the gym every single day of the week. Number 2 is eat well most of the time. You do not need a strict diet. You do not need to be perfect. You can still go out and enjoy yourself. But as long as you're giving the body the nutrients it needs, and you've got a balance of protein, fat and carbs in your diet, and you understand the basic law of energy balance, you do not need to overly restrict yourself. You can look and feel great while still enjoying the foods that you like. Number 3, we need to prioritize recovery. And by recovery, I mean, what are we doing in our day-to-day life between training sessions? So are we getting enough movement throughout the day, where we're pumping blood around the body and fluid so we operate at our highest level and feel good? And also, are we focusing on sleep quantity and sleep quality so that we have high levels of energy and we feel good, so we're not reaching and craving for sugar with low level of motivation and discipline, and also craving and reaching for the caffeine to prop up our energy levels? Finally, which actually a big one, which is managing stress. Make sure we're managing our expectations of ourselves and of others, so we're not getting stressed out over what other people are doing. We need to make sure that we're managing our diaries appropriately, so we're not oversubscribing ourselves. We need to make sure that we're taking time to disconnect and recharge by getting out in nature and seeing friends and family. And also maybe taking up that hobby that you stopped doing. So we add in an element of, again, movement, but also play into our lifestyle. You You see, despite what you see on Instagram, there's nothing fancy or sexy about being in great shape, feeling good and confident. It's just a matter of curating your lifestyle so you can nail these fundamental basics on a regular basis so you're consistent, and that way it'll be nice and congruent with your lifestyle and, dare I say, almost effortless. So if this sounds like the life you want, where you want to be in great shape without having to go to extreme measures and living like a fitness influencer, I'll be bringing out more videos to support and guide you on how to do that and more tips. So hit subscribe, and thank you for watching.